You're listening to In the Corner with Benny Mac. Unfiltered, uncensored, and unforgiving. Here's the man in the corner, Benny Mac.
Hello and welcome to In the Corner. Obviously, I am of course Benny Mac. We are actually releasing this episode on a Monday, purely because I didn't have a chance to actually do anything last week in terms of podcasting. But how can I not talk about what went down last week with everybody kicking off that Cody wasn't going to be at WrestleMania. He won the damn Rumble, then he's letting The Rock do it, and then he's doing this, and oh my God, it's been an absolute... I know you've probably heard loads of people talk about this, but to talk about this with me all the way, my tag team partner from across the pond, Mr. Tyler, how are you, sir?
Benny, it's always a fun time to join you, and I just got to say, we want The Rock. I just wanted to stick it to everybody.
Damn, I want Cody, man. This is going to be an interesting podcast, I tell you. There we go.
Didn't expect that one, did
I
you?
did not, actually, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. No, that's cool. You want who? I get it. Rock Roman is like, boom, like, box office. I get it. But, yeah, so... Just for some reason, if for some reason you've been living under a rock and you've not seen Rumble or whatever, obviously Cody won the Rumble. It seemed very obvious. It seemed very like, yeah, here we go. Finally, a year later, we're going to see the rematch between Roman and Cody. Cody even pointed at Roman, which we've already spoke about.
He did.
But then all of a sudden, SmackDown the week before, not last week, the week before now, Rock turns up. Nothing said, but it seems to be that the crowd loved it. The crowd loved the fact that Rock was there, and I think that's more of an arena thing. But once you stop and go, hang on a minute, Cody's won the damn Rumble. Why are we having this? What's going on? And the internet for 7 days straight, I believe, and he calls you Cody then, Tyler. We want Cody was trending.
I'm the American Nightmare. It's a fantasy.
There you go. You're the American Nightmare. I'm the British Nightmare. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That works. We're a tag team.
There we go.
Goodness.
The Nightmares. There you go. I mean, man, everybody kicking off. The internet. We want Cody. Some people want The Rock. Some people want Cody. This is like wrestling's Marvel's version of like Civil War type thing is going on with the wrestling fans.
Oh, it is.
It's absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you what, I mean, obviously, I don't know. Do you, obviously it's all happened now. We have we don't really have a conclusion yet, but we seem to have a more, I say clear path. I don't even know if it's that clear, but what were your thoughts when Cody basically stepped aside for Rock and Roman? What were your thoughts? And then how everything's panned out so far up until the press conference? We want Cody? Or you've already said Rock, obviously, but what were your thoughts when it initially happened?
I actually want them both. I was kind of giving you a hard time, to be honest. Another twist. There you go. But to be fair, I felt bad for Cody, to be serious, because he did win the Royal Rumble men's matchup, and he's worthy of this opportunity. So I think the Undertaker said it, that his heart sank a little bit for Cody. I think that's the sentiment for everybody. The reason why so many people on Twitter and all the social media and big internet platforms were up in arms over The Rock coming out, because here we go, the big star that just got named onto the board for TKO. Even though we loved him during the Attitude Era, it's Cody's moment. So I could see where everybody's coming at it. And there's also the argument Rock and Roman would be the dream matchup at WrestleMania. But I just felt so sorry for Cody Rhodes. I truly did. But I must admit, seeing The Rock is always pretty cool, because our fandom, our nostalgia, is met when you see the People's Champion, the great one, make an appearance. And, of course, he's going to get a huge reaction. Birmingham, where SmackDown was a couple weeks ago, I'm not sure they even realized The Rock was going to be coming out on SmackDown, but it set up what we're going to be discussing later, Benny, and it was quite a moment. But I did feel bad for Cody.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's been watching it, I'm not saying we didn't like The Rock or everything like that, but we've been watching this story unfold for the last year, and if we were like, we weren't even sure, because I think we were like, oh, maybe I think I said possibly Cody or Gunther to win the Rumble, because my logic was, if you're not going to have Cody versus Roman at Mania this year, then Cody of course, in terms of the story, of course Cody is going to pick Roman. Why wouldn't he pick Roman after what happened last year? So for him to win the Rumble, now whether that was an audible, whether Cody was meant to win it from the start, maybe CM Punk was, we have no idea, obviously. I think I get the general feeling that Cody was always set to win it. But obviously the injury with Punk, if let's say Punk was meant to win the Rumble and they called it there and then and say, well, Cody's going to have to win because Punk's injured and we don't know how bad it is. I actually got the sneaking suspicion that there may have been something wrong with CM Punk before the match in the Rumble, and it made it worse in the Rumble. Because
could have been. The
way they sort of teased Gunther Seth, maybe, unless that was just a way of testing the waters to see this maybe down the line. I'm not sure, but my assumption is that Cody was meant to win the Rumble. So, I mean, like I've already said at the top of the show, he pointed at Roman. There was no ifs or buts. I'm coming for you, you know? So, when
he wants tribal chief.
Absolutely. And again, the story, I feel, dictates that.
I think he would want to get his redemption for not finishing the story at last year's WrestleMania. So it's fitting for him to point to Roman and say, "Hey, I'm choosing you, pal. You were ruining my dream of being the champion.
Yeah.
We've still got unfinished business.
Absolutely.
So why not?"
There you go. You've nailed it there. Unfinished business, and that's I can't wait. I don't know whether it's going to be a triple threat now. I have no idea what's going to happen, but
possibly a tag team matchup, and we'll get into it. That was like another scenario.
If we're going to have a tag team matchup, I feel like, I mean, maybe you could do that night one of WrestleMania if you want to keep it that long. Maybe you could have Seth and Cody teaming up to go against Rock and Roman, and then the next night could be Cody versus Roman for the title. Maybe, I don't know,
and maybe. I mean, there's some different ways they could go about it, and you brought up a good point, Benny. The path may not be as clear as we think, even after the press conference.
Oh, the oh my God, we've got to get into press conference in a minute. But I get the feeling that maybe we're going to see Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth possibly at Elimination Chamber, and nothing's been announced yet. That would make sense to me. But I tell you what, we've got to talk about the press conference. Let's just get straight into the main bit while we're doing it today.
Do.
And again, you would have heard a lot of people talk about this, but this is just our take on it. Obviously, Tyler's take and all that, and BenNy's take.
There you go. That was an old show of mine, and now it's went from Tyler's take to Tyler's takedowns. And it's thanks to In the Corner, because I may still do a solo pod here. Maybe in the future. Who knows? We could surprise you for In the Corner. It's really where it started. So I have to credit Benny Mac and this show and SJP World Media, and for coming up with the idea. Because it used to be Tyler's take, and now I'm trying to take down people. That doesn't sound good, but it's wrestling. So.
A double leg takedown. There you go.
There you go.
So just looking at the graphic here, 100 million social views in the first 12 hours of the press conference, or a WWE record in that. Over 4.7 million live viewers across all social platforms. Now, I watched it on delay on WWE Network because it still exists at the moment over here. Until the end of the year, I believe. Well, until January next year, I assume, until Raw goes on to Netflix and stuff. But this is what got me. Most viewed non-in-ring event live stream of all time.
They made it feel big. I mean, it was Super Bowl weekend in North America, and the world watches. There's a lot of football fans in the UK, Benny, and where you're at, and are all across the globe, and it had a feel of a big fight. You could tell things were going to go down between a lot of the participants, and the way they built it, and the panel. CM Punk was terrific. Big E, it was so good to see him back, and even in this capacity. And Pat McAfee brings energy, and Michael Cole always sets the tone. So, to me, like if you're watching UFC or a sporting event, it had more of the sports feel, and to me that captivated me already, and I think that's why you could see so many fans at least nearly pack out the arena that's across from the stadium in Las Vegas, and you're already there at one of the major entertainment cities in all the world, not just the U.S. but the world in Las Vegas. So it had all the makings of being extravagant for WrestleMania. It was very fitting.
is very clever of WWE to do that during Super Bowl week into the weekend. So the press is already there, aren't they? I've already said this, I think, on the show, but it makes perfect sense. But it's just it's absolutely, I don't know. I've never witnessed a kickoff, a presentation like this with WWE. Now, I've watched them in the past. I watched the WrestleMania 19. They did like an hour sort of show, didn't they? And had people coming on. Like Triple H was there. I think I want to say like maybe Hulk Hogan was on the show and Steve Austin was on the show.
They would feature a lot of big names. I mean, definitely headliners. So people would come and go, wait a minute, Triple H, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold. I mean, it clicked. It's like, hey, we know these people.
But it's a case of, I think, just normally it's more like, I don't know if fluff piece is the right way of saying it, but like it just felt like, WWE are just promoting their event, which they are. That makes sense. But this, like you said, Tyler, already, big fight type feel, especially when everything kicks off with The Rock. And when Cody came out, I never thought we would see Rock essentially turn heel at this press conference and, taking offense to the fact that Cody brought up his grandfather. Now, Roman actually brought up Cody's father first. So, he said...
He did.
And then if you haven't seen it for some reason, ladies and gents, please just go and watch it. We'll highlight it as best we can, But the stuff, and it wasn't even just that on the stage. The stuff after, Rock slapping Cody, which was like, oh my God. And then the comments I saw in some posts were like, Will Smith would have been proud of that slap and all this kind of stuff like that going on. That. But do you know what? The backstage stuff was Triple H talking to, I've forgotten her name. Is it Redmond, I think?
Jackie Redmond.
Jackie Redmond, thank you. And then Rock and Roman walk past. It's almost like the Rock's joined the bloodline. I know he's in the bloodline technically because they're family, but he's not in the bloodline as we've seen it. But yeah, that's confused myself. But the fact, I'm assuming the arena didn't get the bleeped version like we did on the broadcast. But I'll slap these effing teeth down his throat into reference to Cody coming from The Rock. And The Rock has just turned heel, as far as I can tell, in that moment, in that press conference.
And it sure appears so.
Just absolutely... Now, whether this was the original plan, I have no idea. But if this was the original plan, WWE are absolute geniuses. And even if it wasn't their plan, they're still geniuses because they've come up with a good... Because you can't help but think... And I think it helps because CM Punk was on the panel, but you can't help but go back to 2013 when Punk was, like, at the time, one of the longest reigning champions in the current sort of era. And then Rock came back, beat him for the title, then had to go. Then Rock went on to WrestleMania to face Cena for their second bout, but this time for the title. And I love CM Punk's comment at the start of the show as well. Where were you in 2013 towards the crowd?
Exactly. I mean, a lot of nice callbacks to, and you said it, Benny, where The Rock would just come in and CM Punk had all the success and momentum going his way, and lo and behold, the Great One makes his return. And we get the Cena Rock rivalry, which everybody enjoyed. But imagine if Punk versus Cena, if we could have got that during that time frame. Punk was so fantastic. I mean, I would love to hear him on commentary more, to be honest, after this panel. Nothing against the teams we have for Raw and SmackDown, but CM Punk just can articulate. He was incredible. I mean, to me, he was one of the main driving forces for this panel because he mentioned, if I was Cody, I would have knocked the Rock's teeth down his mouth. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember word for word, but it was classic Punk, where it was honest. It was, hey, you could see if it was Punk that he would do it. He showing the difference between all the personas. I can't say enough good things to compliment Punk's performance on commentary. And the man's not even wrestling. He's taken advantage, and it's credit to WWE for positioning him to be in that role where he can still be beneficial because he can still talk.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good way. I think it's already been referred to, and some people online, and maybe even actually on the broadcast itself. I can't remember, but when Austin got hurt back in the day, he actually became more popular, didn't he? by just causing havoc. Now, Punk can't necessarily get in the ring and physically attack anybody, but he can definitely. He's like you said, he's good on the mic. So whether he's on commentary, whether he just comes out and goes, "If I were you, I would punch." In that press conference after it finished,
Correct.
If I was Cody, I'd have punched The Rock in the mouth after he slapped me. And I don't know whether this was done intentionally, but if you watch it back, when Punk says that at some point, Rock turns around and it's almost like he's looking at CM Punk from the stage.
That's what I was thinking too. It's almost like The Rock hurt him. So it's
in the arena, isn't it? So
that was good.
Yeah. So the arena obviously had them. The people in the arena could hear the panel. It wasn't like just them sort of stood there trying to listen in. They could actually hear the Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, CM Punk, and Big E as well. By the way, great to see Big E.
I agree.
So it was just for a non-wrestling event, as I've already said. The whole thing was good, but the Rock Roman stuff. But the crowd were very much booing The Rock.
They were mixed.
It was mixed.
It had a lot of Cody. We want Cody chants, and then you would hear some Rockies, but it would be a lot more distant the more he started talking, which I thought was pretty remarkable. No one hears The Rock, but it shows you the popularity and the fans desiring Cody to finish his story, knowing he won the Rumble. And I think a lot of the people understand, as much as we appreciate The Rock, we're tired of these guys coming in trying to take the spots of these guys that are the headline stars for today. And it was evident, I think, by the crowd reaction.
And it's been going on for a while, hasn't it? We've had Goldberg come back, we've had Rock come back.
It has.
And we've had Steve Austin come back, but Steve Austin, even though he beat Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, which was amazing to see, and the fact the fans actually erupted on the bell, or had a big cheer when the bell rang. Now it's officially Stone Cold is having a match. He didn't win a title. Yes, he won the match, but I feel like he elevated KO. And obviously, I was worried about The Rock going on. And now Rock versus Roman, maybe last year this should have happened, rather than at WrestleMania 40. Now, I don't know, man. There's so many thoughts going through my head right now.
There's been an argument. I mean, it's valid what you're bringing up about maybe if they were going to do Rock versus Roman, it should have been last year in L.A., in Los Angeles. However, we say that, and then you think back to how great of a match Cody and Roman had. And
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Think about the ramifications for this year going into Philadelphia for WrestleMania 2024, we might have not got the same kind of suspend your disbelief moment at the press conference as we did. I mean, there's a lot of factors, so I'm with you. It's hard to say there's a clear and cut path all the time creatively, because things I'm sure get changed due to reactions and the way the rivalries are brewing, or even the culmination of a certain feud and the way the progression of the character's story is going. So there's a lot to digest there.
It would, I think a triple threat would be really good, because now if they want Roman to beat Hogan's thing, I think it's around September, I believe, when he would beat Hogan's reign.
I'm assuming, but don't quote me.
Yeah, same here. So you could go separate. I mean, maybe they don't want it. Maybe they want him to get close and he doesn't beat. I have no idea. But we've had some record breakers in Gunther with the IC title, so maybe we will see it. Now, if you have the triple threat with Roman, Rock, and Cody, ultimately this will break down eventually, I believe, because Rock will try and get a pinfall at some point, and Roman will be like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then it obviously inevitably breaks down. That helps the Rock as well. Sorry, go on.
They won't be getting along either. Like you were saying, it'll probably be justification for the two actually feuding.
Yeah. You could have Roman come out of that winning and retaining the Undisputed title, and maybe have Roman pin Rock, so Cody's not even in the pinfall. And then, obviously we're going to have people interfering, I would assume, Sikoa, etc. So I'm just assuming based on if they want to beat Hogan's run, okay? So we could have Roman beat Rock. That elevates Roman even more, and even more of an unstoppable force to a degree. and then we could still have Cody come back round around SummerSlam or around whenever it falls for SummerSlam in September and the whole Hogan's reign thing, you know? So we could still have that. Or do they, Tyler? Do they pull the trigger and Cody becomes champion at WrestleMania?
I'm thinking it may be time to make Cody the champion. I mean, there's always SummerSlam, but no offense to SummerSlam, WrestleMania is your Super Bowl for sports entertainment, for pro wrestling, especially this era. There's not any competition. Let's be honest.
And it's WrestleMania 40 as well. So yeah. It feels like it's going to end at WrestleMania.
That's all I was going to say is I think if you're going to pull the trigger on Cody becoming the champion and dethroning this just record-breaking, impressive title run that Roman has had, what better way to do it than now? I mean, at least when WrestleMania is here in April, I should say.
Yeah, so obviously WrestleMania is on Saturday, April 6th, and Sunday, April 7th. But before that, we've got Elimination Chamber coming up, which is, I believe, the 24th of February, I believe.
I think you are correct, and I got to tell you, I'll be watching that later. I'm spoiled over here in the States. I don't know if I'm going to brave it and get up at 3, whatever time it is. I mean, I can make some coffee and try it.
I think
it's not that it's not going to be great and worth my time and entertaining, but even I've got my limits.
I think it's for the UK. It's actually not too bad. I believe it's on about 9:30 a.m. for us.
You know what? You all deserve it because most of the time we're so. That's what I mean. We're spoiled over here with all these time differences, and
we're like
and you guys deserve it. So BenNy can laugh at me and go, "Hey, it's only 9 something here. You don't want to wake up at 3 or 4 or 5. I can't even get the times correct. I'll have to look back now."
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be working that day anyway, so I'll probably, like yourself, end up having to watch it on delay anyway. But
correct.
Either way,
just kind of wait.
I can't wait, to be honest. We got Rhea Ripley's meant to be defending the Women's World Championship. It seems like, also at the press conference, let's talk about that quickly.
Let's do it.
It seems like Rhea Ripley and Becky might be the WrestleMania. Becky's the only one who had qualified at the time for the Women's Elimination Chamber. It was teased
a bit there.
And they've been teasing it a little bit here and there, haven't they? So
they have. And I like Becky's remark. It's not often you see Rhea kind of brought down a little bit in a promo. They definitely gave Becky the go home of the promo to say, hey, you're going to be at the bottom because remember, mommy's always on top. But to Becky, she was trying to educate Rhea Ripley about the fact.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, you got Elimination Chamber coming up. We've had the Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton qualify for the Elimination Chamber. We've still got people to actually... Logan Paul, I believe, is still available.
He's still in it.
Kevin Owens, Bronson Reed, I think it was Ivar as well. So Sami Zayn's out. And
Styles is out.
And Styles is out. So we have a few more. That started on SmackDown. That's going to continue on Raw, I believe, which, if you're listening to this podcast today, is literally tonight. So hence we'll be talking more on Thursday, hopefully, about some stuff. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you want to bring up, Tyler. To be honest, it's a very short and sweet episode, really. But
no, it is. The only thing I was going to bring up is, and I know it has nothing to do with the press conference or Smack. Well, it does have something to do with SmackDown and Raw. Is Bayley and the Damage Control saga. It was very fascinating to me where Dakota Kai's allegiance was going to be or go. And for at least for now, she's sided with Bayley. But I'm not so sure she doesn't betray her. But I do like them as a team. To me, you got to give Bayley somebody, though. I'm contradicting my own opinion here because the Kabuki Warriors with Io Sky, one of the women's champions, they have a numbers game. So you would envision Dakota Kai or somebody helping out Bayley. But I like how the twist came, though. Did you notice, though, Dakota Kai with a steel chair coming into the ring, and she teased that she was going to betray Bayley, and then I like how she turned it around and was going after the rest of the former members, or maybe it's a new Damage Control. I guess it is. Well,
I suppose, because I did say this on the podcast a few weeks ago, that it's interesting that the Kabuki Warriors are called the Kabuki Warriors. Obviously, that's bringing them back, obviously. But they were technically meant to be all Damage Control. That was meant to be the stable name. So,
Right.
I felt like that was a little tease of, we saw it coming for weeks that there were conversations behind Bayley's back. I wondered how they were going to progress this, and they went straight for it. And I love the fact that Bayley talked Japanese back to them, and the crowd reacted.
It was tremendous.
It was amazing. I picked that up because you always talk about me. Why? What happened? And then all of a sudden, and I love Bayley was ready for it. It's almost like the. I think Triple H did it with somebody at one point and had stapled. He wouldn't have bloody stapled it. He taped a sledgehammer under the table, and so she pulled out a pipe by the steps and managed to fight him off. This leads into my Sasha Banks hopefully returning at WrestleMania theory that I had about a month ago.
I like your theory. I complimented you. I think I was able to join you after you had recorded your recent episode. I believe it was discussing how you would book Banks with Bayley helping her out. So, hey, we could see it. I mean, I think she's not with New Japan, or if she is, she's finishing up. Now, I know a lot of people are pointing to AEW, but I'm not so sure all the time. It's easy to make the assumption, but hey, you never say never in the wrestling business.
Absolutely. It would be so. I've already laid it out before, but I'll lay it out again quickly before we finish. It just like have Bayley, maybe Bayley wins the title at Mania, maybe she doesn't. I think she should. She deserves it. But the beatdown, maybe the turn from Dakota Kai, or maybe even Dakota Kai at this point, because the way they've teased it, we've not really had a definitive answer. So maybe it's tease. We get to Mania. Maybe Bayley does win the title. Dakota Kai hasn't still really given an allegiance, but then does join Bayley, but then they're outnumbered by EO, Kabuki Warriors, and then we have the famous Sasha Banks music. Now, assuming she comes back as Sasha Banks, I have no idea. But hopefully there'll be similar music so fans can be like, oh my God, Monet's
I
there.
would hope so, too. So. I mean, if nothing else, her music. But I would think if she's coming back to WWE, hopefully it'll be under the name she was using.
What, Sasha Banks or Monet?
Sasha,
okay. I just say, what a massive return that would be at WrestleMania as well.
I'm not taking anything away from the Mercedes. Maybe it would be kind of neat. I'm just thinking if she's, a lot of fans have associated her with being, Sasha Banks for so long, especially there.
Well, maybe instead of the boss, maybe it can be Money Sasha Banks or something to sort of play on words in some sort of fashion, maybe. I don't know, man.
Hey, you never know. I mean, and that's got a nice ring to it. The only other thing, and I know we want to keep it short and sweet on this episode, Benny, and I respect that. Going back to just real quickly, the Triple H Rock interaction that you were mentioning with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman walking backstage. I love how they shot it, by the way. The production has been great. I like these new angles we're getting. Can't say enough positive things about WWE's production. And Triple H, going by what he was saying on SmackDown, Know Your Role, throwing a lot of the Rockisms, so to speak, toward The Rock, that he's the authority. Hey, nice callback to when he and Stephanie were representing the authority back in, I think, 2014 or 15 it was. But I like how Triple H, we're going to get this rivalry between not only the general managers, but the executives. And they're renewing a rivalry of sorts, even though it's a shame Triple H and The Rock can't have one last match due to Triple H's health issues, but at least in some ways they can creatively. So, due to Paul Heyman coming in there, interrupting Braun Breaker in the backstage segment, I just love how this is re-energizing the Bloodline story, because I was afraid it had kind of gone stagnant.
It's needed
for
it,
a
hasn't
little
it?
bit.
It's definitely needed it.
It really has. No good. Exactly. It has needed some different wrinkles, and this is more than just a wrinkle. It's a whole nother step in ball game. And Triple H saying, "Oh, we'll see about that," and he's even saying some things. So it's I think it's got everybody so intrigued, and I'm all for it. You said take my money. Somebody take my money with where this is going.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because that backstage bit. Now, my other half doesn't. She watches it with me. She's not really a wrestling fan necessarily. She doesn't hate it, but she's not really a fan. But she'll watch it occasionally. And she was like, that was like the presentation was so much better. Like the whole, it felt real. And I don't know whether this is genuine. She was like, it's blurred the lines a bit, which is really good. But she was like, it didn't feel cheesy. It didn't feel over the top. It felt real. And you think, oh my God, these guys actually want to punch the crap out of each other. And even she was drawn into it a little bit. So, she knows who The Rock is, obviously. She watched a little bit of wrestling when she was younger, but, she knows who certain people are, like Cena and Rock and stuff like that. But
yeah, because they're doing movies, and let's be fair to all the big wrestling stars. I mean, they're box office names, too. So even people that don't watch wrestling are going to know at least their names or who they are. And,
yeah.
I think, too, it suspends our disbelief, and wrestling's been built on it. I think in other podcasts that they brought this up, and it was a fantastic point, and it's true. I mean, if it's not making us believe in what you're doing, then you're missing the point. And WWE is getting back to a formula that I think for any wrestling company is successful. When you can make me say, hey, listen, Seth Rollins looks... He looks very angry toward The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody after the slap, and it's natural reactions that you would hope that other wrestlers would have. I mean, it's built on personal issues, and they deliver. I mean, I can't say enough good things about that press conference. I was a little skeptical about how it would go, but then after seeing the fallout and the way they presented it, I'm like, great job.
Yeah,
I mean, this
100%.
was unbelievable.
I've never been so taken in, especially when the Rock Roman stuff started happening. And then Cody come out. I've never been so into it, So it was really good, and I think
me as well. I mean, they've got me hooked, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely,
I think any fan wants to be intrigued. It's like any other TV show. Like you and Si review some TV shows. I mean, I'm sure there are certain episodes that are going to lack, but it's part of episodic TV. But you still want the story to be so good that even if it hits and misses, maybe it's good because it's that one moment like that press conference. And we'll get them on Raw and SmackDown because we think that was cool. Well, Rock and Roman's coming back this upcoming week. So it makes me want to watch SmackDown more. And the fact that Triple H opened it, we've got all the damage control stuff happening. I'm actually excited for Nia Jax and Rhea because, hey, I think we've both been complimentary of Nia. And I think they want to make Nia look strong. So when Rhea is able to beat her in Australia, it's not going to hurt Nia, but it only makes Rhea look even more stronger headed into WrestleMania. And I think that's a great way to do it.
Absolutely. And if they can do it in a way that builds Nia up ready for maybe later in the year, it's better for you got somebody to, have more matches to be had and stuff. One thing I wanted to bring up quickly. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Hey, listen, it's your show, and I'm here for it, man. I'm pumped.
When Rock and Roman, as you were bringing up, when Rock and Roman walked back, Roman said something to Triple H, and I couldn't quite distinguish what he said at first. We had to rewind it a couple of times, but ultimately, what Roman said, you can only just about hear it, is he says to Triple H, "You're lucky we're here," and Triple H's response is, "You are too." So Roman's trying to act the big I am. You're lucky we're here in WWE. And Triple H's like, "Well, you're lucky you are here." So it was really good. Then the rockisms, as you called it, on SmackDown were brilliant. Some people need to know their role. It was just oh my God, it was brilliant.
It was great.
But again, do you know what?
It was like the Triple H Rock promos back in the Attitude Era. Here we go. Except they're executives now. You could play it into the storylines now. It's brilliant. Like you were saying, I love the word brilliant.
Yeah, I can't wait for Raw. I can't wait for SmackDown. It's gonna be interesting. And also I don't know. I can't wait for it now. And I tell you, not that I wasn't excited for WrestleMania, but just see where this goes. And also, once again, it proves we all need to have a bit more patience when it comes to these things happening, because everybody kicking off about Cody. Now,
we do.
Was it because the hashtags "We Want Cody" caused this? I have no idea, because the way it happened on SmackDown when Cody left Rock and Roman in the ring, it seemed like, because Cody even said, "I am going to take the title, I am going to take everything from you, but not at WrestleMania." So was that the original plan? And I have the fans a bit like Daniel Bryan back in the day, or at least the way it felt. Not a yes movement, but a "We Want Cody" movement this time.
Yeah, just a "We Want Cody." And I think due to the Pat McAfee, interview that The Rock did. I mean, he was kind of already showing a little bit of a condescending side because the Cody Crybabies actually started before the press conference. So I like that he brought it up. It only made the fans want to turn against him, even though secretly they still love the guy. But due to the story with Cody, it just you even heard Rocky Sucks chants on Monday Night Raw. That's a callback. I mean, that's when he first started. They were kind of forcing the Rock, kind of similar to what they were doing with Roman. It's fascinating to go back in time, but Roman was forced down everybody's throats. Now he's popular, so we're getting the mixed reactions again. It's a bloodline thing, and I like how they showed the family tree. It was very indicative of why it's so important to get into the facts and details of why this is such an important lineage. The Rock saying they're the royal family was good because Cody's theme song even says there's, a royal family. But I think Cody's theme song says maybe there's more than one royal family. You can help me out. I'm not sure if I got the lyrics correct.
Yeah, there's more than one royal family, basically. So, because obviously, you've got the Rock's family and everything, so Flair and all that stuff. So, there's so many more that I'm not even mentioning, but yeah.
But I like the little nuances. You hear us talk about it so much on your program, Benny, with the way they stick it to each other. It's so Roman wanted to disrespect Dusty, so Cody turned around and say, how would your grandfathers feel as he addressed Roman and Rock? And that's what set up the Rock stepping in and saying, I'm not going to stand for your disrespect either, and slaps him. And then catching Seth saying, well, you think just because you're on the board now, you get to come in and do whatever you want. I'm paraphrasing. Of course, they were letting words fly and everything, but it felt real. That I can't get over how much more like you that I'm even more ecstatic about watching WrestleMania. That sold me. If nothing else, it sold me, that segment.
And and the fact that it's had so many people watch it, and it was really good. And for a press conference as well, I don't think we've ever talked about a press conference and anything we've ever in all the podcasts you've done, all the podcasts I've done, just talking to friends when their friends are wrestling. I don't think we've ever talked about a kickoff press conference like this ever. It was really good. Now, again, was it already in the work? Was this plan all along? Maybe not, but however they came up with it, whether it was on the fly, whatever, it landed, and it's I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm with you. Whether it was planned or not, or they had an idea at least. It's a good way to make Cody be even more sympathetic to the audience too, and I think that was kind of their point. Because I get it. Everybody wanted Cody. I saw your tweet. And hey, listen, I'm all for Cody. I wanted to kind of be, like he'll rock and say rock. I mean, of course, a lot of us want to see The Rock versus Roman, but that was another little twist since we were getting into the press conference and maybe talking a little bit about SmackDown or Raw. I'm just so interested now. I mean, I think interested is kind of a understatement. I think excitement comes to mind with what we're going to be able to see. And it makes me want to watch Raw and SmackDown live now. Used to, I would go, okay, I want to just watch it on DVR. Well, heck, I may try to watch it live tonight. I mean, just to see even Monday Night Raw with Becky Lynch and Rhea, Judgment Day, R-Truth, and Gunther. I can't say enough just complimentary things about the Intercontinental Champion, him and Jey Uso. I mean, there's so much, too, that'll lead us to WrestleMania outside of just Cody and Rock and Roman and Seth Rollins.
They got 2 nights to fill, haven't they, now? It's not a one-night thing anymore. It's a 2-day.
I mean, so why not spread it out? I mean,
exactly,
to have matches. I used to not understand the 2-night process going in, but I don't mind it now because we've had a few years to get used to it. Because the only thing about having it all in one night, it would be you talk about a marathon, it would be even more. I mean, because they'd have to fit so much into
definitely.
One night.
Plus, they do like an hour of a press, like a kickoff show as well. Then WrestleMania itself was probably 4.5 hours long, if not 5. And then you have it was a long day. But yeah, so
it was. I mean, you talk about being dedicated. You had to be with some of these programs because it was like you might as well cancel plans going outside. If you're going to watch WrestleMania or some show, you might as well be locked in and ready to be there for the long haul.
Absolutely, man. Well, Tyler, once again, hopefully we can get you on Thursday when we've watched some Raw and stuff like that.
I think we should be able to work it out, hopefully. But hey, if not, you do a great job anyway. So whether you're on by yourself or I'm with you or whoever else, man, it's always a great lesson. And let me tell you, folks, something. I'm not going to tell you to go fickle yourselves because I love you. Seriously, I want you to listen to Benny Mac's great show, In the Corner, WWE. He's brilliant. He's already said it. He needs to do a Nick Aldis impersonation because I can't say enough good things about Nick Aldis as the SmackDown GM. Benny, it's just always a blast, man. And we try to keep it short, but we couldn't help ourselves. Then we start thinking about other storylines, and it's bound to happen, so forgive me.
No, man. I just wanted to get a podcast out there because I missed out on last Thursday, and I could not talk about it.
No, I'm glad you are. I mean, and we all need a break sometimes. We got to recharge the batteries, as you're saying and conveying. But I'm glad you got this other episode out, and hopefully, hey, maybe if you need a tag team partner and just need to make the tag, and I'll take the punishment. I'll be happy to jump on.
Cheers, man. Well, let us know where we can find your good self, what else you're doing at the moment. I did see you make a guest appearance on another podcast, so let us know what that was.
Thank you. And I need to shout those guys out. They're also very knowledgeable like yourself, and it's a good time. Square Circle Radio, they've got their regular program, as I got to be a guest on just this past weekend. And just like how we're doing, the press conference had to discuss it, and they did a special bonus episode as well. So go support them. They're doing a fantasy booking show, which is very good. I'm impressed with some of their ideas, and they call it the Music City Wrestling Federation, which is appropriate because we're close to Nashville, Tennessee. So very nice. Also, WrestleManiacs. I got a shout out to my good friend Waylon Myers, who does a great job, and has asked me to be a part of that. And you can listen to it on SJP World Media. Of course, In the Corner with Benny Mac, WWE, whether I'm on or not, and this guy's a machine. He's great. I acknowledge him if you want to know the truth. It's just good stuff. And they've got such a variety of shows that, Benny, you can tell people Tyler's takedowns before I forget. There'll be new episodes out. So, but tell us some of the other shows that you're doing and stuff. I feel bad. I'm just rambling here.
To be honest, mate, at the moment it's In the Corner. Actually, as you've already said, follow us on X at In the Corner WWE, on SJP World Media, at SJP World Media on X as well. Currently, I think it is out as I sit here right now. It's Monday right now. Waiting Room, the Quantum Leap podcast is back. We've done a couple of episodes, got them in the bank. We're enjoying it. We're getting back on it, and we're on season 3 at the moment of that. So yeah, but yeah, it's all about the wrestling on this show. Tyler, thank you very much, my friend. We're gonna.
Oh, you're so welcome, Benny. Anything I can do to make people mad or just have fun. That's why I had to say The Rock. Because,
absolutely.
Hey, I was like, hey, let's come at it with a little twist at the beginning.
you had me fooled almost. Anyway, we should be, or I will be back minimum. Hopefully Tyler will be free, but we should be back on SJP World Media on Thursday talking Raw, what's going to happen on SmackDown, what we think is going to happen on Elimination Chamber, and all the other stuff that goes on in WWE. So thank you very much for listening. Hitting that subscribe button, following SJP World Media, following Tyler, following myself, and we'll see you all again on Thursday, hopefully. See you soon.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.